Okay, so we're talking here about how thyroid hormone is made. So if I have my blood supply there, and then under here, I'm going to do half of this because I need it to be kind of large. So this is the follicle. Okay, so these are follicular cells. Okay, and in the follicular cell, that is where colloid is produced. So, I shouldn't say colloid, I should say thyroglobulin, sorry. So thyroglobulin is produced in the follicular cell, sorry. So it is exocytosed into the follicle. So the thyroglobulin is basically tyrosine amino acids linked together, and it's basically 70 of them linked. And I cannot make 70 of them, but that's enough. Okay, so the follicle cell produces the thyroglobulin, and it exocytoses it into the follicle. So that's our first thing. So exocytose thyroglobulin into follicle. Okay. Now, in order for it to become T3 or T4, eventually it needs to have iodine. So iodine comes from the blood, and iodine floats around the blood and basically enters the follicular cell. So there's a transporter on these cells that will allow iodine in with sodium. So it's like a co-transporter. So it comes in together. So the iodine comes inside the cell. Then on the other side of the follicular cell is another transporter. It's called a pendrin, I think, and it brings the iodine into the follicle. Once the iodine is in the follicle, it will bind to the thyroglobulin. So the second step is we need iodine. So iodine from the blood enters the follicular cell. And again, it does that with a co-transporter with sodium going this direction. Okay, so the iodine then will link to the thyroglobulin. So iodine plus thyroglobulin. So it ends up looking like this. And it goes ones and twos. So you've got oneers and twoers on here. Once the iodine is linked to the thyroglobulin, basically the thyroglobulin then kind of folds up on itself. Get a better green here. Okay, so it starts to fold up. And as it does that, the iodines sort of link together. So if you have a oner here, let me change my color there, and a twoer here, that will link. Or a oner, see, a oner and a twoer will link. Or a twoer and a twoer. So it basically links up to make three iodines that are linked together, or 4 iodines that are linked together along this strand of tyrosines, or this strand of thyroglobulin that is just sort of twisted around there. All right, so this is what makes up colloid, and this is the storage of thyroid hormone. So once it's folded and has its threes and fours together, it has the storage there. Once it's ready to be secreted into the blood, it will be endocytosed back into the follicular cell. All right, so let's go back, and here's 3 and here's 4. So 3, so iodine links to thyroglobulin. And then 4, the thyroglobulin folds up, and the iodines link together in 3s and 4s. Okay, so then when it's time for it to be secreted into the blood, it will be endocytosed back into the follicular cell. And in the follicular cell, so this is what, 5. So it's endocytosed back into the follicular cell, where it is chopped into T3 and T4. From there, it is exocytosed then into the blood. So T3, T4. Okay, so that's how thyroid hormone is made, and that's how it ends up in the blood. So we can say exocytosed into the blood, and from there it will go to its targets. It's stored here as colloid until it's needed. Okay, I think that's about it. So next video, we're going to talk about what in the world does thyroid hormone do.